Hey guys, Welsknight here, and welcome back to another episode of Kingdoms. And in today's episode, we're going to be doing a little bit of work kind of out here in the middle of nowhere, kind of by the path. Here's the skeleton farm, and I think we're going to go past that a little ways. And somewhere between Altum, which is over there, and Anona, which is over here, maybe like, ooh, this could be good. Maybe like right here. I want to make a little bit of like a cave, kind of like a little bandit cave. I think would actually be really cool. Preying on unsuspecting travelers who come a little bit too close. So I think what we're gonna do is just break out some space here, and I think this will be the entrance to our cave, right around here. I think this seems about right. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, I'm going to do some digging here. Now, I want to talk a little bit about last episode. Last episode, we built some docks in Anona. And, it's one thing that's very interesting about YouTube is that on that video, there are 153 comments as of the time of this recording. And it's interesting that as a content creator, the ones that you remember, the comments that you seem to remember the most are the negative ones. I don't know what it is, but maybe it's just a natural human tendency to focus on negative things, or I don't know, but the comments that I remember the most on that video were the ones which basically address something that I've addressed before, and that's the whole idea of copying people. There were things that say you shouldn't copy so much. You always copy people's ideas, or all you did was copy so-and-so, and things like that. And I said, in that video, when I recorded it, I said I had been watching B00's series, and he recently did a doc, and it gave me the idea to do a doc. And then I built a doc, which is very similar to all of the docs I have ever built since I've been playing Minecraft. And I have built many of them. I built one in Life of the Woods, I built one in Welsknight's Realm. Actually, I think I built two of them in Welsknight's Realm. I've built docks many, many times, and they all look very similar to the one that we built in Anona. But what I got instead was you copied so-and-so. You copied B00. You shouldn't copy. The boats look the same. That was my personal favorite. The boats look the same. You copied B00. And the funny thing is, B00 copied another YouTuber for the boat design, and he did give credit. That YouTuber's name was iBob, and I watched that video as well, and linked it in the description of the previous video. It's like, So today, we are copying someone else. I don't know who we're copying, but I'm sure that someone in the history of YouTube has made a bandit cave before, and therefore we are copying whoever that person is. In fact, you know what? Now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure that Iskall built a bandit cave back in the days of Kingdom Craft when we were playing on that server together. So today I'm copying Iskall. Oh man, it's an unwinnable war. Sometimes you just can't win. No matter what you do, you'll never please everybody, I guess. I don't know. Either way, I guess it's just I don't know. Anyway, I'm not really upset about it. I'm just it amuses me. That no matter what you do, or how you do something, or how often you do something, or any of those kinds of things, there's always going to be people who say something about it, and that negative thing, that negative comment is the one you remember. Never mind that there are quite literally hundreds of positive comments on those videos, which I did read, by the way, and I do appreciate the positive ones. Thank you. But the ones you remember are always the negative ones. Anyway, although I should probably mention, and I think I've addressed this a couple times throughout Kingdoms, this whole series is kind of pretty heavily inspired by B00's Building with B00 series, if you can't tell by the whole, texture pack, lore, there's a lot of things that are in common with that series, and the reason for that is that, as far as other YouTubers go, he's probably the one who's had the most influence on me overall. He's one of the few people that I watch absolutely religiously, so it makes sense that, his videos would be the ones that are most similar to my own, that, have been the largest influence on my own style and stuff like that. So, that's kind of a thing to consider as well. that's looking pretty good, I think. We'll add a little bit more to the ceiling up in here as well. We're trying to make it look natural for the most part. Maybe we peel this back a little bit. That looks good. And then we'll bring that back as well. Yeah, that's not bad. Okay, so... like so? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, so this is going to be our bandit cave, and there's some things that I'm going to have to do, like this dirt. Dirt doesn't really belong in the walls of a cave, if you ask me. So we're going to have to kind of clean some of that up. I personally don't want coal ore showing, so that's going to have to go away as well. We'll have to do some of these kind of things just to kind of tidy it up a little bit, and then we'll go back and make some other changes to it. So let me get this cave kind of cleaned up a little bit, and I'll come back to you in just a sec. All right, guys, I am back. So I've got the cave all cleaned up. We've got our kind of... we've got all the stone in place. We've got all the non-stone taken out. And I think the first thing I want to do is I want to put a little bit of a campfire kind of right here in the middle. We do have fire spread off, so if you're playing with fire spread turned on, probably don't do this because this stuff will burn. Just kind of bear that in mind. But this is going to be our little bandit camp, or our little bandit cave, I think. I think I kind of want to pull this back a little bit as well. Maybe we go here. Yeah, okay. Anyway, so we'll do that. Now, any bandit camp is definitely going to need some chests. So let's grab some stuff to make a few of those. Let's just put a crafting bench here. And let's make... oh, I'm going to need some sticks. Let's just make some tripwire hooks. And make some trapped chests. There we go. I've got so much junk in my inventory right now. Let's put some of that there. There we go. All right. So we've got some chests and some trap chests, and that means we can kind of place them however we see fit. So if I want to do like a regular chest here, and maybe a trapped one up here, maybe another trapped there. Well, maybe a trapped here. Maybe we'll put a regular chest here. We're just going to kind of spread these out throughout the cave. The idea here is to kind of create this feeling like they've got, all this random loot, if you will, just kind of all over the place. So maybe we put a trapped one here. That should be fine. Okay, so that's good. Now, they need a place to sleep. I don't have any extra beds on me at the moment. Let's grab a little bit of dirt as well, because I want to have some dirt kind of mixed into the floor, especially kind of at the entrance. I think it would make sense. That's just regular dirt. So we'll put coarse dirt there instead. And just kind of at the entrance to the cave, and then a little bit going back, but less, as we kind of... it's going to be more heavily concentrated towards the front of the cave, I think. So we'll just kind of mix in some coarse dirt and some regular dirt over here. Right? So as you walk in, it's a little bit dirtier, shall we say? Maybe one here as well. This has to be coarse dirt because we don't want this to spread to it. And I want to blend this a little bit better. Let's do maybe something like that. Yeah, that feels good. Okay, cool. Now, I also need, I think, granite would be good, since it's, a bandit camp, and granite is dark, and dark is evil, and these are bad people who live here, preying on innocent travelers as they cross the roads and travel from town to town. I think we'll mix a little bit of granite into the walls and stuff like that. Let's see here. Missed one there, there, and there. So we want to mix a little bit of that in too. Maybe here and here. Back here as well. I'm thinking this is going to be primarily cobble. We'll mix in some stone and cobblestone walls and stuff like that to give it a little bit of depth in the walls, just so it's not all so... Oh, I'm standing in the fire. That's a safety hazard. Don't stand in the fire. No. Just bad decisions. Okay, so that's already looking a little bit better. Maybe a little granite over here as well. There we go. Yeah, that already looks a little bit better. Now, I definitely need some cobble, and I don't have any on me at the moment. So, tell you what, let me run to Altum real quick. Let me grab some cobble, and I'll be back in a moment. Alright guys, I am back. So, I grabbed some stuff. I grabbed a few different things. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix in... What? Oh, I still have Instamine from being in a Nona. Or from being an Altu, I should say. Oh, that's kind of funny. Okay, anyway. So, first thing we're going to do is we're going to mix in some cobblestone here. And we're just going to kind of get it... I don't want to say all over the place, but we're going to spread it around a bit. We're definitely going to spread it around and make it visible kind of throughout the whole place. So let's just mix those in spots where it makes sense, just to kind of add some of that texture variation that we love so much. There we go. Up here, there, here. Am I missing anywhere? Right up here as well. And that looks pretty good. I definitely want to get some in the floor too. We'll just kind of spread this. Maybe here and here. Yeah, that looks good. Okay. So we'll do a little bit of this. I think we need some love, like right up in here. Just some interest. Okay, so that looks good. Now, the next step, let's grab some cobblestone stairs and some cobblestone fences. And I'm actually going to put a cobblestone right there as well. And let's get some of those mixed in too. Alright guys, I am back, and I'm just making a couple little tweaks here and there. I think I like how this is kind of turning out so far. We've got a few kind of nifty things going on here. So, what I'm doing right now is I'm just kind of spreading out. If you look at the cave definitely looks a lot more interesting than your standard vanilla generated cave. And I think that's really good. I'm also thinking that this guy right here should be a stair. There's a lot of cobble. There's a lot of granite. We've got our little thing here in the middle. I think this needs to go. And I've been adding in some gravel as well. Because my thought process is that if this is kind of a dilapidated, rundown cave, odds are, like, in my mind, there's kind of a progression of erosion, I guess you'd say. So stone, right? It starts out as stone, and then as time goes on, it maybe fades into like andesite, and then after the andesite, it goes down to maybe gravel, right? And we can mix a little andesite in here as well, and I think it'll look good. And then after cobblestone, it goes down to gravel, which... Did I just say that? I may have just said that. I don't know. Either way. So it's like this whole kind of progression where it starts as stone, it goes to andesite, after andesite it goes to cobblestone, and after cobblestone it kind of fades into gravel, and then after gravel it would just, disappear completely. So this whole cave is kind of in the process of slowly... eroding and fading away and essentially just being destroyed. And you can see little bits of it kind of sticking out here and there. And things slowly... I keep stepping into the fire. But you guys kind of see what I mean here. I'm also thinking some of these chests we might do away with, like this one here. Right, so we have just a couple of chests kind of hanging out, chilling, if you will. Put a trap chest right here, maybe, facing out this way. Yeah, that's not bad. And maybe one here as well. There we go. So we got some chests over there, some chests here. All of this kind of stuff just sort of leading, sort of just adding interest to the cave. And it's a little bit more dirty over here because, you know, they'd be tracking in mud and stuff like that. Now, the entrance to the cave is not going to be secret or anything like that. We're not going to try and conceal the cave entrance. I do think, though, that it would make sense, at least from my perspective, if this part of the cave right here was held up by something. So maybe we tear this out like so, right? And then we kind of bring this across. And this was maybe the entrance once to a mine or something along those lines is kind of what I'm thinking. Let's just fill in little chunks of this. There we go. And then we'd have a log here and probably there as well. And then this would be holding that up. Maybe do something like that. Yeah, that's not bad. That's not bad. Okay, so, you know, this was maybe the entrance to a mine once or something like that. And now it's kind of a rundown, destroyed cave. And we can maybe we can sneak a couple little things in here to kind of signify that a little bit. You know, some rubble, if you will. Oh, there goes, whatever. It's fine. You get a little bit of rubble kind of by the entranceway. There's my crafting bench. What did I do with all that? There it is. Oh, come on. Grab the thing I want you to grab. There we go. All right. Oh, that wasn't what I wanted to do. Here we go. So maybe we take some slabs, just kind of mix them in a little bit here and there. The idea being that this is just kind of rubble that's fallen around the entrance to the cave and around the edges, I'm thinking as well. So maybe we do something like that. We can have like a little bed over here, and I can go make myself a new bed. This is the one that was in my ender chest, but I think I'll just go make myself a new one at some point. Not a big deal. I've got plenty of wool, plenty of wood. Not a big deal at all. And that looks pretty good. I think it still needs a few things, though. So, I was thinking maybe over here we could add in a little bit of grass. And then once we get inside the cave, maybe we can just plant a couple of ferns kind of near the edge. Maybe some grass as well, kind of, you know, just along the entrance here. I think that one needs to go. Maybe we put one here. Take this dirt, put it over. Oh, that's not the dirt. Put it there instead, and put a little grass thing on top of it. Yeah. That's good. That's good. And then we can put maybe a couple of torches in here, which still looks good, but it provides a little bit of lighting. And I like that. And then maybe we can do like some stalactites or something kind of hanging down from the cave. You'll have to kind of use your imagination here, because it's very difficult to get the exact shape of stalactites. Is it stalactites or is it stalagmites? I always forget which ones are which. Which ones hang and which ones don't. I never remember. But we can maybe get some of those kind of in here as well. You know, just kind of hanging down. Not right there. Not right there. Maybe maybe here. This would be a good spot for one. Yeah. That's very cool. I like it. I'd like to get one more kind of over here. You know what we could do? We could put a stair there. And then we can have a stalactite that hangs down over here. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then maybe we do a couple kind of sticking up as well from the floor. Because sometimes, if you look at like actual caves, sometimes they have, sometimes the stuff actually like reaches. You know, you get the top and the bottom where they basically connect together. Could maybe even do... Nah, I think I like it better separated. Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's not bad. That's not bad. I think it needs a little bit more color, though. I'm not entirely sure how to go about adding that. Can I plant a dead bush there? Yes. Yes, I can. I mean, I suppose we could mix a little mossy in. Because if there is stalactites and stalagmites, in theory, that would mean that the cave is at least a little bit wet. So maybe we mix just a tiny bit of mossy in. Not a lot. Not a lot. I don't want a lot of mossy. But just enough that there's a little splash of color, I think could be good. Just little bits of it. Maybe here and here. Yeah, there we go. Now we're getting somewhere. And I think that's good. Ooh, that needs to go. Maybe we'll put a mossy here too. Like, we don't want a lot of mossy. We don't want a lot of it. Just a little. Just a little bit. Maybe one up there as well. Yeah, that's kind of a cool addition. That's kind of a cool addition. And we could potentially look at doing some other things. Maybe putting an armor stand or two in here. Some of that kind of stuff. Do I have the stuff to make armor stands? Yeah, I do. Why don't we go ahead and do that real quick? That could be fun. That's not a bad idea. Crafting bench. I'll just put it here. We need this. We need some sticks. I really want like 2 armor stands, though. I want a couple of them. So let's make a few more sticks. There we go. And we'll go like that. Beautiful. And... you know, the cool thing about armor stands is that they can sit on top of slabs. So it gives us kind of this... it actually gives us a way to make use of our elevation changes, which is kind of cool. So maybe we do that. Maybe we do that. Now, I don't have enough... actually... oh, hello, creeper. I see you out there. Sneaky creeper. In the rain, where I can't light him on fire. I think I actually do have enough iron to make armor stands, to make, you know, armor for these guys. Let me run back to Altoon. Let me see what I got. All right, guys, I am back, and I actually forgot. I have a bunch of just, like, kind of random armor from looting nether ships. Where's our cave? Right here? Yeah. I have a bunch of random armor just from, you know, going through or not nether ships, end ships. Just going through the end and kind of doing stuff there and getting loot. So I can probably do a few sets of armor just kind of, you know, throughout and using different things, which is pretty cool. Oh, I don't have any enchanted iron helmets, at least not on me. That's all right. Let's maybe do something like that. We'll do, you know, just a couple suits of armor. Yeah, that's not bad. That definitely makes it a bit more interesting for sure. It gives us a little bit more color in here as well, too. I think that's pretty good. We've got a crafting... I think I'll leave the crafting bench. And then this can also, you know, from a lore perspective, it's a little bandit cave. But from a realistic, practical, perspective, it's kind of a way stop, if you will. You know, I can make another ender chest, so we can leave this ender chest here. It's just a place we can kind of stop and refill on stuff, or if we need to take a quick nap because it's nighttime or something like that, we have the ability to do so. It's just kind of a little pit stop, if you will. So yeah, I think that's pretty good. But guys, that is all that I have time for in this episode. So if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave me a comment. I do appreciate it, and it really helps out my channel. You can also find me on Facebook, Twitter, and Twitch. There are links in the video description below, so check that out as well. Otherwise, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll definitely see you next time.